Okay, let's do a little recap here and corrections here. One thing, I said that this was a mass market paperback size. I misspoke. This is a trade paperback size. That's generally what all your print-on-demand books are going to come as. This is the mass market paperback size. This was the original Bantam book that I republished myself as a print-on-demand book. Okay, and in talking about editors, I didn't mention the fact that they also generally provide you with a copy editor. The copy editor is the person who looks at that book for mistakes. They basically correct any of my bad English, but they'll do things like if you use the word electrified in their 1810 novel, they'll say that's probably not the right time to be utilizing that word. Ages of words that weren't introduced. One time I had a cigar in a Western that was written and set around 1873, and the cigar wasn't introduced until 1877. My copy editor didn't pick it up, but there's an expert about everything. I got a letter from a guy who was an expert on cigars in the West and told me that I was a little early with that one. Okay, so you got conventional publishing, you've got the alternative of self-publishing, you've got print-on-demand books, and you have ebooks. You also have other sub-markets like large print books and audiobooks, which are now no longer done on tape, or generally done on CDs. We talked about print-on-demands. I mentioned something about returns. There are no returns on print-on-demands because you're only return where they can return it for the full price, because you're only printing one book per order, and that's going directly to consumer generally if they order it over a website. And I should have mentioned that there are some absolutely wonderful books printed by people on print on demand because they got discouraged for one reason or another in the conventional process of trying to sell a book to a publisher. And some of those books have been printed, done very well. They have marketed them very well. They've gone out and sold the heck out of them, and they've gleaned the notice of the conventional publishers in New York, and they've made a deal for them. They've come back and given somebody a big advance because it has been proven that that's a good marketable book. So that can happen to you if you do a print-on-demand book, and probably even an ebook. That can happen to you. Golly, it's a very difficult, very deep, extensive business. Romance books alone in the United States are well over $2 billion worth of business. So you can imagine that there's just lots of business. You know, you're not even talking about textbooks, and you're talking about the nonfiction books. Generally easier to get a nonfiction book published than it is a fiction book in the conventional market, but there again, you generally have to be an expert of some sort. Anyway, it's been wonderful talking with you. I've enjoyed visiting with you. I hope I've given you some insight into publishing and getting your book published. I've got more on my webpage, which is www.ljmartin.com, of course, www.ljmartin.com. I also do a cooking show. I'm working on a webpage for it, which is wolfpackranch.com. And my wife's webpage is catbooks, katbooks.com. All of those, you can learn more about us and what we're all about. Go out there and get your book published.